I'll be right back.
Alright.
Fuck. Be right back.
I'm cringing at
What,
you.
what have you guys done to me?
We just never saw it coming. I still can't believe it. Most solid, dependable, and courageous Marine we've ever known. Blink of an eye. Gone.
Oh, I didn't save a checkpoint.
Arrangements are being made to take his body back to the States.
I thought Sullivan would make it through for sure.
We let our guard down, Polonsky. We can't let it happen again.
So, what now?
Tojo's got a tight hold on pretty much everything to the west. Direct route runs right into the Japanese guns. We take the flank. It might get us wet, but it's not going to get us killed. We regroup with the 5th when we're through the swamp. Stay sharp.
Poor bastard must have been shot down this morning.
Fuselage is still smoking. Check for survivors.
Honestly, what I was probably gonna say was BR back.
Oh my god,
Which is
dude.
gonna be more cringe.
I used to not be able to say the number 9. It either came out as
Nine.
It either came out as nin or an n. Literally, I could not pronounce it. This was probably like 2-3 years ago. I knew how to say it. It would come out as nin or n. And I was
So, I have very good pronunciation because in Russian, you have to hold your R's a bunch.
yeah.
And in American,
Mhm.
you have to talk with your tongue further back in your mouth than other languages.
Mhm.
And when you do that, there's no R, like there's no R sound that comes out at all. And then in fucking Arabic, you use the back of your throat, like
Yeah. Anyways,
yeah. So don't ask me how I know.
I don't know. You're a smart
Long
dude.
story.
I think tomorrow I'm gonna take my sister on a walk.
And then send her in front of the sidewalk as
Well-
a car comes by.
She's my 12-year-old sister. She's visiting right now. So I was like, maybe I'll
Bing
yeah.
or Google. What do you
I
do
did-
with your What
I
do you do with your sister?
I do
Take
need
her
to-
for a walk in a nice, lovely park.
I do need to pick up some more gum anyways. So I mean,
Bing. What do you do with your sister? The oven.
do you have a knife?
The oven.
Do you have a gun?
Too messy. The oven.
Oh my god, dude. I've been watching a lot of those like most disturbing ways to die or whatever videos. And there was this one where this dude got literally locked inside of like an industrial oven. So basically what he was doing is like those giant ovens that cook like tuna or something. Or what's a small fish? Is it tuna? It might have been tuna. Anyways, it's fish. Anyways, it was a giant industrial oven, and it's kind of like a tube. And they roll in the fish on these carts, and it comes in, and it gets cooked, and then it goes out. This dude was cleaning it. Well, the workers for said machine got back. They had left, and they got back, and they didn't know there was someone inside of their machine. And so what they did is they sent a cart down full of this fish. And basically what it did is a cart pinned this dude against the back of the wall, the back of the tube, to the side of the tube, and then it slowly started heating up until this dude was like in like several 100-degree temperatures with a metal wall on his basically attached to him. And he died. Well, he
It's
died,
like-
obviously.
It's like that one James Bond scene from Diamonds Are Forever.
I
you
have
seen
not
that?
watched. Nope, dude. There's a lot of like classic movies I need to watch that I just haven't.
You need to watch James Bond starting from the beginning.
Yeah.
So do you have Hulu
Yes.
and no, it's Hulu and one other site that you need in order to watch all but one of the James Bonds.
I don't know. I have a lot of streaming services. I need to kill one of my teammates that has a bar. You have a bar. You know what? You may have been a corporal. You may have been in the military for a little bit, but not anymore. You're about to die.
Oh, so Hulu and Amazon Prime Video.
Yep.
So
Oh.
so you need those two in order to watch all of the James Bonds.
Would I have to pay? Would I have to buy the movie on Amazon Prime though?
As long as you have premium.
Okay, well then yeah, I can. Shit, I have YouTube. That's the one thing I hate about Amazon and Hulu. It's like, oh yeah, you know, you have all these. You pay for the streaming service itself, but then afterwards you actually want half
but you
the
gotta
content.
pay for premium.
Well, no. I have like Hulu. I have Amazon Prime. We have Amazon Prime. You know, premium, whatever. We have Hulu. We pay for Hulu. But then if you want like half of the shit on there, you still have to buy. You have to buy it separately. Which I hate. So did you say you wanted to play Bread and Fred?
Yeah, because the
Uh-oh.
op's just not even gonna happen.
Alright. Well, let me...
It's already 10 o'clock, and the problem is that whenever these late ops, I basically have to force my brother downstairs.
Ah. Are you... So you're CST? Central Time?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, so it does help the fact that I'm Central Time, and basically I get an hour earlier.
Yeah.
But it's still
Late.
still late.
Yeah, I get that.
Especially with 2-hour ops, everyone goes to sleep at 10:30, 11.
Alright, now I got more ammo for my bar. Hold on, let me clear out this little section real quick, and then I'll boot up the game. It won't take me that long. I'm an expert Call of Duty player. I decided to buy World at War because I was really wanting to play it. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. There was one level I really wanted to play. And that was the one where you buy the B-52s.
Everyone on me!
I still find that so funny. Those people went all the way down there just to see the Titanic, and now they died down there.
Yeah.
Suppressing fire on those MGs. The flamethrowers need to reach the
Yeah,
What do you mean
unfortunately that's
suppressing fire on those
that,
MGs? They killed them.
and unfortunately that's the truth of underwater, just underwater in general. If something happens, no one's there to help you.
Yeah.
Never get the flamethrower and finish the job.
Like, I mean, the United States Navy has a rescue submarine for rescuing their military subs, but
Flamethrower on the bunker.
you weren't here for the rant with Kel and Priest. U.S. submarines have one bulkhead. Forward compartment, aft compartment.
Oh.
The forward compartment floods. That's your command and control. You're fucked. If the
Yeah.
aft compartment floods, that's your propulsion and power. You're fucked.
Yeah.
And U.S. submarines, because we pack a lot of technology and they're all expensive, we don't splurge on necessary safety. We just accept the risk. So there's no rescue buoys. There's no escape capsule. There's no emergency thrusters or engines in case the main one goes out.
Yeah.
Russian submarines have that. They got emergency buoys that
Well,
break.
Russia
they got
also cannot save their own submarines if they go down.
that is true. Like the Kursk.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, the Kursk. They literally, all the dudes in the Kursk
It was
lived.
they learned their lesson. Now in fact, the United States and Russia after the Kursk basically came to the same conclusions. They looked at the report and said, "Oh shit, fires are bad in submarines."
Yeah. Literally, like 23 out of the 100-something crew lived the initial explosions and fire. Yeah.
So U.S. submarines, there is a escape method they train.
Mhm.
So military submarines have a system called emergency blow.
Uh huh. So you emergency rapidly ascend.
Yeah, so it's basically a can of compressed air that fills the ballast tanks, the main ballast tanks,
Yeah.
and shoves and pushes all the water out. It can be done twice usually.
But what if the
And-
ballast tanks are ruptured?
It should, depending on where they're ruptured, the emergency blow should still provide enough buoyancy to hopefully not send you to crush depth. So, and the U.S. submarine crews were trained, though everyone collectively just assumed it's not going to work, that there's suits that they put on.
Mm-hmm.
So basically dry suits.
Yeah.
They put on, they climb through the torpedo tubes, and they float with a life vest.
That can
Problem
only
is-
get you so
problem-
far.
No, that will get you to the surface, but you'll get the bends, though.
Yeah.
Which is basically your bloodstream
Oh, I know what that
is
is.
filled with nitrogen.
Yeah.
So basically you have to be rescued within at least 8 hours or you're gonna die.
Basically. Also,
Um,
if you're just too deep, it's not gonna work because you'll just drown.
Oh yeah, no, if it's a dry suit, so it will keep you dry, but it's not pressurized.
Yeah. Also, I
So-
doubt they're gonna have like full enclosed, so you're not gonna be able to breathe.
No, U.S. submarines don't have escape pods, so
Yeah.
Russian ones do because they're so single.
Dude, the Kursk was such
Um,
a stupid story. It was very. The remaining crew could have survived, but like.
Well, they had this. The remaining crew have the same system where they have they put on basically dry suits and they float to the top.
But because they were so deep.
Yeah, because they're so deep, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel
but
like,
there
I feel
are-
like they could have been saved if Russia hadn't been stupid, had to stick up its ass.
But there's two depths that are very important for submarines. You have test depth, which is the maximum depth at which your submarine is tested when it's first sent into the water. So when it's first sent to the water, you put it to the test depth, your hull pops, which is I'll get into.
Hmm.
And that basically means the maximum depth that you can safely go to.
Makes sense.
And test depth is usually set to something times 3 the crush depth. The crush depth isn't where the submarine implodes, it's where you'll get structural instability it's where the structure of the submarine cannot withstand the pressure of the water, and it will start breaking, collapsing, or bursting. It's done that way so that if you're stuck at test depth, you have a little bit of wiggle room to get yourself back up before you're sink.
You are a wealth of information, my guy. Like, I
Yeah,
did
I
not
know.
think I would be learning about submarines today, but here I am. Happily learning about submarines.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have a life and you have the internet.
That's okay. I mean, who needs a life anyways?
But the most interesting thing is that a sonar operator, when they're listening to a submarine,
Hmm.
each class of submarine, the engines sound different.
I believe that.
Every class does it.
That makes sense.
But how do you identify specific hull numbers of a submarine? Well, you hull pops. So, when the submarine is first tested, every submarine is built different because there's tiny imperfections,
Hmm.
and military submarines have a movable hull,
Okay.
which means there's actually two hulls, an inner and outer. The inner one moves, the outer one's rigid. So as the pressure increases, the inner hull kind of collapses.
Yeah, that makes
But-
sense.
But that movement's not really smooth. So at a certain depth, the hull kind of pops into place. And every submarine is different. So a good sonar operator, when a submarine is maneuvering between depths, can know which specific submarine they're listening to. Oh, and then British and Russian submarines, and for that matter, pretty much all of the submarines have rescue buoys on them, which are basically buoyant buoys that they can deploy
Yeah.
that provide oxygen and radio communication, so they can call for help if they can't reach to the surface all the way. U.S. submarines don't have that, and the Russian submarines just weld them shut because they keep popping off when they're not supposed to.
So if you want reliability and like if anything major happens, you're fucked. Go American.
Yes, basically.
If you want either way, you're gonna die. Go Russian. If you want you're gonna live no matter what, you're not. You can't get anything. Go some other country.
British is pretty good if you want to stay safe in the submarine.
Yeah, go with the English. Or
Australia has some submarines now. Korea has some pretty good ones.
yeah, but who's ever gonna want to go on a Korean submarine?
Nice work, Marine.
Yeah, no, smelly men.
Let's give Major Gordon the good news.
I like how I was like, okay, let me just finish this quick section in World at War, and I just completely beat the level.
Japanese reinforcements.
I'm just so engrossed in you telling me about submarines.
Support. Yes, sir.
You want to know about torpedoes now?
Oh, frick. Yes.
Forward.
So, the U.S. Navy uses two types of torpedoes, the Mark 48 and the Mark 42, I believe. The Mark 48 is the Mark 48 ADCAP, which is the most modern torpedo in the world, is what submarines like the Virginia class and the Seawolf class submarine use. Or 688 is what the Virginia class is nicknamed. So when they fire a torpedo, it's not like World War II, where the torpedoes float to the surface just below the water, and they hit a ship. And they have to calculate and time where that torpedo is going to go. Modern submarines have their own sonar,
Yeah.
and they're wire guided. So when a torpedo is launched, there's a thin wire that's attached to the back, fiber optic usually, that's connected to the submarine. This allows the torpedo operator to move, control, steer, and gather information from the torpedo. And he's able to control when to turn on or turn off the sonar. And it also allows him to reject a target if the torpedo locked on to something that it shouldn't.
Like a friendly boat.
Yes. If you're operating with a carrier fleet, then yes.
Isn't
However-
it like if the radar operator uses the radar and pings it, if there's like a dive crew outside, they die?
It's extremely painful.
Oh. Isn't it because like the ping go inside the body? The
No,
orifices?
it's very loud.
Oh.
Very. It will make you nauseous, throw up in your dive suit.
Nauseous. Oh, my audio went out. Okay, hold on. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Hold on, my audio went out. Speak?
Whoop.
Speak more?
Bark.
There we go. Anyways,
But yeah, you're not supposed to, because actually that is a procedure for enemy frogmen.
just
is
ping a fuck ton of times.
Yeah. If your position is compromised, then you just ping the sonar.
Oh my god, I'm on the
Animal right groups are very upset about sonars. They don't like them.
That's okay. We don't fuck them animals. Fuck the dolphins. They rape things.
Because they do actually kill whales if used incorrectly. Well, what ends up happening is that when you ping a sonar, a whale known as a biologic will react to it and think it's a friendly whale, and will go there.
So you're gonna get a whale trying to fuck your submarine.
Yeah. But torpedoes, wire, thin wire. Has a certain distance on it, usually really long, but it's thin. So you launch that torpedo at the wrong angle, your submarine goes too fast, the wire can break. What happens then? Well, then the torpedo, after a pre-programmed distance, will activate its sonar and will continue on its path and will attack anything without discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
So say you fire at an enemy sub,
Yeah.
the torpedo finds it, the wire breaks,
Mhm.
What I say.
and the submarine evades. So what does the torpedo do?
It's gonna
Well,
lock
it
on like
actually-
a whale.
Well, no, it goes in circles until it finds another sonar contact. Oh, look at that! The torpedo found another sonar contact. What's that contact? Oh, it's your own sub.
You fire a fucking torpedo and it just hits you.
Take my knife. And what
Legitimately, U.S. Navy submariners are trained to avoid their own torpedoes, not enemy torpedoes. Because if you can avoid a Mark 82 ADCAP, then you can avoid an enemy torpedo.
women
Hmm.
and children.
Or a Mark 84.
Not just here.
Because that is the most advanced torpedo in the world, and if you can evade that, then you're probably fine.
For 3 days.
But evading it is very difficult.
Has saved his wretched life. Sniping your enemy is like
And
hunting
I'm assuming you already know how submarines get communication underwater.
Yeah, they have to like surface every once in a while, and that's how they do it.
They can. There are other methods.
I'm guessing something like a buoy.
They also have one of those, but there are also other methods.
Starlink.
So for the main communication, yes, you surface, you bring up the GPS mast, you bring up the SATCOM mast, you download everything as quick as possible, you update your GPS position, and you go back down. Believe it or not, submarines use inertial navigation using a series of gyroscopes. And the problem is that after an hour, its accuracy degrades to 300 meters of your actual position. 2 hours, 1.5 kilometers, so on and so forth. There are many methods to update your position, one of them being mapping the seafloor as you go.
Mm-hmm.
If you're under an ice shelf, you could use the indentations within the ice and floor. But mainly you just surface, update your GPS, and then go back down. Now, if they need to remain stealthy, because those masts produce a lot of radar, they can send a buoy,
Yeah.
so that way they don't have to fully surface, and they have the buoy that do all that for them. But if you are in the underwater, in the middle of hostile territory,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot show anything above the water. So what do? Well, the U.S. Navy thought about this for a while and came up with a solution.
They came up with like 6 different solutions that all were shit, and they were like, let's go with the shitty one. It didn't work, and then they finally picked a good one.
Yeah, the 6 shitty solutions, and and in order to make it work, they used the least shit one. That's you just answered government procurement right there.
Literally, they're like, okay, we're gonna use the shittiest solution possible, and then it happened, and some higher up heard about it. Like that was someone with some actual brains heard about it, and they're like, what the fuck are you guys doing? No.
Well,
Here, do this.
Well, they don't use good solutions. They just use the less shit option.
Here. You guys didn't procure any good solutions, so here's the least shitty one. Please use this. They're not killing. Their previous method was to strap like a note to a dude and fucking have him swim up
And sending him down.
Just have him drown. Okay, so you're gonna die, but they're gonna get the message, and that's the important thing.
So what they actually used, not a dude strapped to a note, though that would be pretty funny.
Is it a box?
The U.S. Navy has 2 radio sites spanning about 1.5 kilometers of extremely low frequency radio.
To their people.
For instance, the length of that wave is about the length
Knowing the routine
of
movements of
2 times the Golden Gate Bridge.
Damn.
And
That is a radio wave. Damn.
frequencies that low can actually penetrate the water.
a creature of habit.
And so what they ended up doing is they have 2.
He inspects
No, they have way more than. Yeah, they have 2 arrays. One near New York, one near California,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they have a secret one in Australia.
this building to flank his route.
And basically, these are for communicating with submarines. The data rate. So you know when your internet has a shit day and everything's like laggy and you can't, and the only thing you could do is make a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to flush him out before
Well, yeah, that doesn't even have that bandwidth. It has enough bandwidth for 32 bits of text. Sorry, 32 characters.
I will draw his fire.
That's the amount of bandwidth, and it has to be digital, or else you can't send it. So it's 32. It's 32 characters of data that they can send to the submarine.
Left side. I'm going to draw his fire again. Get ready to take him out.
So obviously that's reserved for very important communication, like firing nuclear missiles.
Yeah. Isn't it like the Antarctic secret, whatever? That was in a movie I saw. The Antarctica.
To you to find him now. Stay out of the light. We fire.
I don't really know.
I don't know. It's like the. Yeah, but that makes sense.
So that's what they use for emergency communication. They also have a doomsday aircraft, which I believe is the E-6B Mercury, that has like a 2-mile long antenna that it can drag behind the aircraft to send messages to submarines as well. Theory being is that the aircraft's EMP shielded, so it should be able to withstand a nuclear blast,
Mm-hmm.
so long as it's not near it. But I think the funniest thing is submarine-to-submarine communication underwater.
They just have a dude swim to the other sub. That'd be beautiful
Sometimes.
if that was the entire, like, that was their entire communication system, just have dudes swimming places.
I mean, some submarines have the ability to have Navy SEALs, so yeah.
Oh, they took,
But
We need to leave now.
they took Navy SEALs to a literal method.
They are trying to burn us out.
but the real way is they have a very low frequency sound wave
Mm-hmm.
that they play, and then that's called a carrier wave
Mm-hmm.
that the receiver listens for, and then everything below that is the message. However, it's audible. So if you're next to the submarine in the water, you could hear people talking. It's gonna be garbled, like kind of like Charlie Brown,
Yeah.
but you can hear like messages.
So if you're just swimming outside the submarine, hey, you just hear the submarine, the fucking radio operator to another sub. Hey, we got a dude outside our sub. I'm gonna do a little funny. I'm gonna ping the fucking sonar, and you just hear that, and then like your ears just fucking pop. You just curl up in agony in the water. Dude.
I mean, yeah, so submarines can talk to one another. Ships can talk to submarines with that method too, though it's more difficult. And have you actually seen a submarine sonar with the nose cone removed?
No.
Those things literally look straight out of sci-fi.
Huh.
Like, just Google it, it's crazy.
I do like me some sci-fi.
Yep, no fun op today, so closing Arma once again.
Damn, Reznov just got kicked in the face. I bet those dudes that just kicked him are about to get shot. Yep, hey look, they just got shot.
Wow, what do you know?
Wow. We got saved by more Soviets.
We thought you were among the dead in the massacre at the square. He was.
You don't have contact, right?
Not one of them.
What?
What about
You don't have contact DLC for Arma?
I do. Never played it, but I do.
to assault?
So, you don't care for spoilers, right?
No.